Friends, here I am in the studio, and I'm excited about today's show. Check this out. I'm going to show you my notes. I'm teaching from the material I have in 4 DVDs in your ultimate life strategy, Cracking the Convergence Code. And these are the notes that I have for today's show. Oh, it's going to be a wonderful time. And part of the mystery for life is being able to figure out where you are in the process of manifesting the calling, the gifting, and the assignment that you've got. Today is going to put together major missing pieces. You can get that at lancewallnau.com/strategy. That's where you get it. And I'm going to give you some free gifts today, so pay attention because some freebies are coming your way. All right, today's subject is you. And what we've been talking about so far is the patterns and stages and phases that lead to that rare 20% of people that are able to get into the harmonic alignment with their ultimate calling and assignment, where they get paid to do what they love to do most and what they do best. 80% of people don't get there, 20% do. I want you to start to look at your life now, and in spite of all the chaos going on around you in the world, the only thing you actually have power over is you. So rather than obsessing about they need to do this and they need to do that, that's the American, obsession right now, is what other people need to do. But actually, your destiny is going to be determined by what you do with what God gave you to do. That's why I'm focusing on this. And for many of you, you're watching this many watch this on a Sunday, and it's good because today's supposed to be your Sabbath. It's all about you and God and the things that matter most. So let's talk about that. You're in the period of your life that you're in right now, you ought to be entering into a season where you're doing what matters most. And what I would say is, let's take a look at a mountain as a great metaphor. What you want to do is to be at the top. In the Hebrew, I guess it's in the book of Numbers, the Lord says to the Jewish people, I call you to be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. It's far better to be at the front of the dog sled than looking at the butt of the dog in front of you. So there's a natural desire we have to be at the summit, the top of what we are called to do, to feel without regret that we haven't left unused opportunity and potential and purpose on the field, that we're utilizing 100% of what God gave us to do. And remember this, for the believer, there's always this ultimate realization that we will all give an account of ourselves for our life to the Lord. That's what sanctifies a Christian. That's what keeps a Christian from committing crimes. It doesn't matter who sees you, God sees you. And so it's a built-in policing department. But you ought to have that same conscientiousness on what God's purpose is, because when you stand before Jesus, He designed you with a destiny in mind, and He gave you certain opportunities and certain gifts to fulfill. I'm going to suggest to you that it was Maslow, actually, who kind of got me thinking about this whole thing about actualized living. Abraham Maslow, the Jewish father of modern psychology, which was, instead of looking at neuroses like Jung and Freud, like, does you hate your mother, your father, you have an Oedipus complex, this and that, Maslow said, isn't there any healthy psychology out there? I mean, most people are not like a basket case needing a shrink. Most people are just trying to sort out life. And he came up with a positive kind of a framework for most people. And he said, the ultimate goal is for a person to be living actualized. And it's interesting, as a Jewish man, I don't know to what degree theology shaped him, but he said actualization is when you're utilizing 100% of your latent potential in a cause that is transcendent and bigger than survival. In other words, instead of where am I going to get my next meal and how can I keep that tribe away from my farm, you're living for a greater cause and a transcendent purpose, utilizing your skills 100%, so you're fully alive, doing what you have agency to do. That's the actualized place. And then Maslow discovered certain stages that precede that. And the first part of that is survival. It's impossible for me to focus on my actualized purpose, destiny, and contribution to mankind when there is a tribe that is trying to rape my wife and steal my harvest. So survival becomes the foundation. And then Maslow created, and I don't want to get into it now, it's not the purpose of my teaching to go into the phases of actualization. But I got this idea that really actualization is when you're spending most of your time doing what you do best and you love to do most for a purpose that has meaning. Can I give you a better definition for a great life than doing what you do best and love to do most, and that has connection to a purpose that has meaning? Then the only thing we got to figure out to do is how to get paid for it. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about a thing called career convergence. Career convergence is when you're actually paid. Either you have partners if you're in ministry like the Apostle Paul that are helping to fund it, or you have a company that's paying, or you created an enterprise. But what it does is it enables you to take your time and put your hours in the day doing what you love to do most and what you do best that has meaning in eternity. Career convergence. So when I talk about convergence, I mean, I want you to be to the place where you can spend 40 to 50 hours a week doing what you love to do most, the thing you do best, for the purpose that has the greatest eternal significance. Does that make sense? So if this is career convergence, and there's a way, you're living in a country, you're living in America, you don't have to be living down here in the survival zone. You can actually work your way up to the place where you're doing the work that you're called to do. Now, the only thing that could mess that up, here's where we go, is you have to draw on a thing called personal capacity. What is personal capacity? Well, it's going to take a certain amount of energy for you to do this thing that you want to do. And that means that you have to have the health to be able to do it. It also means that you have to have the money to be able to underwrite your lifestyle while you do the thing that you're called to do. It also means that you're not going to do this alone. You're going to have relationships. The bigger the assignment, the more you're going to need. Even if you're an author and a recluse and an artist, you need a recording studio, you need a manager, you need someone who's going to market it, you need a publisher, you need distribution. You're going to have relational capacity. And Lord knows it's not just relationships, but the majority of you are going to have a wife. You're going to have a husband. You're going to have children. You're going to have grandchildren. What am I doing here? I'm saying your personal capacity is the sum total of the factors that go into making up the entire wheel of your life. And depending on the strength and the health of this wheel will determine how long you can sustain yourself in the convergence zone. How am I going to be able to drive that car all the way to the top of that mountain when the wheel of my health is falling off, when the wheel of my finances is amid, when I've got strife on the team that needs to get me to the top, or when my family's falling apart? You see what I'm talking about? How about what are the factors that go into personal capacity, catch this, equals career convergence? You can't sustain yourself on the top of the mountain. I don't care, even if you're doing what you love to do best, and this happens, if you're actually doing that while you're dealing with the disintegration of your team, or a lawsuit, or a divorce, or you're having to go for that checkup with the doctor, still worrying about your stress level, those things, trust me, will begin to pull you down the mountain to a lower level of actualization. That totally makes sense to me. Personal capacity equals career capacity. Thank you, Lance. Therefore, I've designed for you, for all of you, something which everyone needs. I'm talking about this. You may have seen these before, but you've not seen it the way I'm going to show it to you, because your personal capacity here is measurable, and you know what it is, and you want to do an inventory on what it is. So it has to do with, on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's say 2 is here and 10 is here. Are you in career convergence? Is it an actualized level 10 life? This is where I teach my level 10 course. A lot of people are at a spiritual life. They're really happy spiritually, but I've seen this happen. But they have no one to share their life with. So let me show you how this works. Oh, I really love what I'm doing, Lance, for work, which is not always true. And I'm spiritually happy, but right now I don't have the finances and I got a big void in the area of romance. In fact, my marriage is on a downslope right now. We're married, but when the kids leave the house, he's already talking about, doing some traveling alone. In other words, your wheel, the wheel of life goes round and round. If you're going to be in that racetrack, you need to have some of those wheels perfectly balanced and connected. So what do I want to do? I want to take this thing and look at this full color Technicolor version. And what I want to do is I want you to begin to look at your life as the wheel. And I'll send this to you. I mean, the categories I picked, family and friends, because you need to have a well-rounded, I'm talking about the emotional health of your life. As a Christian especially, why is fun and recreation a factor? I added that because the stress of life that you accumulate when you're in the war zone fighting the devil, and you will have enemies, your ability to decompress or recreate, you need to be able to deal with the stress in order to recreate. And so we have your personal growth, health and appearance, financial, spiritual, emotional, marriage. I think you can see the categories here, right? How are you growing, by the way? This is a big factor. And so we want to look at your spiritual, emotional, marriage, family, friends, fun, recreation. Is the environment that you've got at home or at work, is it the way that you want it to be? Are you growing? Are you happy not only with your health, but how you look? Are you, feeling great, but I'm 30 pounds overweight? Career, all of these things equal your, remember this, your personal capacity is right there. And that equals your capacity for career convergence. That's where I want to go. I want you to be able to do an analysis of your own wheel of life. And I've actually created something for you, because the questions I would ask you if I was coaching you would be a little bit more detailed. So I don't know. People go, I don't know who I'm doing. Well, do you experience regular weekly balance and rest and stimulation in your life? Do you have routines that ensure that you're bringing renewal to your life? Do you have time off that is off limits to work or your cell phone or other people? That's fun and recreation. Those are the questions I ask. How about your physical environment? People don't stop and think about this. But do the spaces in your life meet your need for calmness, of reflection, of meditation, of spirituality? Is your environment organized in such a way that you have access to anything you want when you need it? Is your current work atmosphere the way you want it? Consider things like, is it clean? Is it dirty? Is it clutter? Is it clutter-free? Is it peaceful? Or is it stressed? Is it well-lit? Is it dim? Is it noisy? Is it quiet? You know something? Those things actually make a difference. And so I give you an opportunity to ask and think about the score. So when you make the score, it's a really strategic score, okay? So you want to go to lancewallnau.com/wheel. It's my gift to you. Shame on you if you don't grab it, Matilda, because I'm giving it to you. My joy in life is being able to help other people discover what they're called to do. I'm going to help you understand personal capacity. And we'll see you again in our next episode.
Most people never step into their true calling. Not because they lack passion, but because they lack strategy. Your ultimate life strategy is the blueprint to unlock your gifts, align with your purpose, and build the life you were meant to live.
But if God really has a serious upgrade for you in terms of calling, an assignment, or transition, you're going to have to be something you've never been and do stuff you've never done.
Step into the convergence zone, where your talents collide with God's destiny for you.
I'm going to tell you, your passion tells you what you're called to do, and your gifts tell you how you're going to do it.
Go to lancewallnau.com/strategy. That's lancewallnau.com/strategy and start living your ultimate life.
Did you enjoy this latest episode? Please remember to share it with your friends, because the more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to navigate the world.